Good morning. It's August the 6th, and I am Minkxy Nick, and my channel is Minkxy Nick, Cats, Coffee, and Oracle Cards. I have an interest in cats, coffee,
And
Oracle
Oracle
cards,
cards.
and also astrology. And I am grateful to be in the presence of the one, the only, the fabulous, the astrologer, Penny Dix.
Wow.
So And it's so nice to be able to catch up with you again. Um,
What a wonderful introduction.
it's well deserved.
Nix,
So,
Nix, and Dix.
yeah, Dix'n'Minx,
Dix'n'Minx.
Mix. We've been working on possible titles if this works. So, the idea with this was obviously we met at shifts in May. You may have caught a couple of shorts and a few videos where we interjected on astrology and cards. But today I wanted to sit down with Penny and get a background of her life, her training, her interest in astrology, where it started, and also hopefully get people interested in how astrology can work in your life. So, welcome, Penny, from her
Thank you.
fabulous tree house.
Yes.
It's quite
In the
funny at the
woods.
moment. You've got this glow around you.
Oh, have I? Oh dear.
So,
First of all, thank you so much, Nick, for asking me to do this because I think it's fun. It's
yeah,
interesting. And I always think it's good to collaborate with each other in these ventures. And I love the fact that when you get two different minds together, you get two different facets of information and learning and teaching.
yeah,
And, certainly I always find that interesting to listen to the combinations of, YouTubers out there who connect with other YouTubers and do videos like this. I just think
yeah,
it's very interesting to see what comes out that can be different.
yeah. I think for me, I'll give a little bit of background how my interest in astrology actually grew was
Yes.
um it's one of these things. I think when we're talking about things, I think we'll probably see the coincidences and connections that keep on coming up over the past couple of years. Um, my main reason for getting very interested in astrology was, again, something that we have in common is I follow a lot of tarot card readers. And I happened to be watching one tarot card reader who did pick a card. And okay, I work with the pendulum at times. The pendulum said go for number three. And I can't remember exactly which card came out, but it was like, take a chance. You're gonna find something and you're gonna do it spontaneously. And literally, as I stopped watching that video, the first video that came out was Steve Jobs' video doing his course at Amadan.
Right.
And I was the first person to sign up and I paid
Oh,
straight
wow.
away without thinking. And then over the next couple of months, I was like, what have I done? What have I got into? And when I got there, it was also a case of, oh my God, do I feel like I'm over my head here? But it seems to have started me on this path through astrology and also getting me to start a YouTube channel with doing cards. Um,
Great. And maybe you'll progress into the
yeah,
astrology or
um,
incorporate the astrology
yeah.
into your readings.
I'm kind of pulling the odd bit in, but it's also having that confidence about
Yes.
speaking about it.
Yeah, I know.
But the hope that I've got is to really find people who are really struggling at the moment, who they're at a point where there's a decision to be made.
Mm.
And for me, and I'm not going to say that, card readings and astrology will answer all your problems, but an understanding of astrology and a chart can help you work with the energies.
Exactly.
So you navigate it in a, what's the best way to put it?
Well,
You know,
it's in a co-creative way, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. It's like using it intelligently. You
Yeah.
can see the problem, but
Mm.
you still have free will as to how you deal with it.
Yes. Yeah.
So on that note, so the first thing that I was going to ask anyway was how did astrology find you?
Mm. It's always a good question that. And I don't know whether I can remember the exact date or time, but I know that it goes back probably before or round about perhaps the age of 12, I would say. Because when I was 12, the tarot found me. And this is a lovely little story. This was through literally an old lady who lived in the woods.
Oh,
And there was some where I lived at the time in England was slightly more rural than it is today. And my aunt, her house backed onto an area of woodland, and within that woodland was a house, and in that house lived this wise lady called Lucy, and I'll never forget. And my aunt had asked her over for tea, as you do. And me and my mother went to visit because Lucy was going to read the cards. But she wouldn't read my cards because she said, "You're too young, and I don't want to say anything that will influence your future. You have got to discover your future." But she did read my mother's cards, but I can't remember now very much of the content. But what it did was it absolutely attracted and fascinated me into the world of, well, into a very different world, a world where it showed me that maybe there are ways that we can work with the energies in a co-creative way to be in alignment with where we want to go or how we go forward down a certain path, how that path can manifest. So I would imagine at that discussion, astrology would have got discussed. And I always knew, as far back as I can remember, that I was Sun Taurus, but that's all I knew at that time. And my mother was Cancer, like yourself,
oh
and my father was a Virgo. And I was always reading there was was it, oh, what was her name? Linda Goodman. Do you remember those books?
no.
Oh, they were sort of, there was a lot of books around at the time that were sort of sun sign books. And this is going back before, probably before you were
I was
born.
born.
Um, but what at that time it was the tarot, and she taught me how to read playing cards, and then I
Right.
graduated into tarot.
Yeah.
And so from the age of 12, 13, I started reading tarot for family, friends. And interestingly, and astrology was always alongside that, but there wasn't a lot
Yeah.
of places to find out much about it. I mean, at that point, I had no idea about these,
Yeah.
you
The
know, which
camera.
interestingly, I noticed Steve Judd calls the bus timetable. I used to call it that too. And I've got a much bigger, thicker one, which comes
Yeah.
up to 2000, which is nearly sort of disintegrated. And so my journey into astrology, because before I get down a rabbit hole of
Yeah.
wittering, I'm going to try and bring it into some succinct areas. So whilst I was in my teens and early 20s, I did I think this is right, I did a counselling course.
Right.
And it seemed to me, because there was somebody around at that time who was almost like mentoring me, and I think could see that I had a way with working with people.
Yeah.
And so this person had recommended, why don't you do a counselling course? So I did. But I decided I wanted to be a tarot counselor. And so I actually had people come and visit me for tarot readings and counseling. And I dare say I asked them what their star sign was and did my own little small sense of it or interpretation. But the real move came when I was a little bit older, probably late teens. Do you remember adult education? I don't know whether they still have those courses.
I remember they used to, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I think I was just at the time when it was still mentioned.
yeah. And there was a course they were doing in the local adult education, which was learn astrology. Oh,
Wow.
right. Off I went. And learned quite a bit from that about the basics, the house systems, I mean, there's so much that you have to do
Yeah.
yourself, as you know.
Yeah.
Nobody can teach you to understand the energies of each sign. You have to almost inhabit them and live them yourself
Yeah.
and find out and work with the different parts of your chart to see where's Aquarius in my chart? Where do I show Aquarian tendencies, for example?
Yeah.
So I did that course, and then, as if by chance, but of course, as we know, nothing is by chance, a lady came into my life. She was a friend of a friend, and she was an astrologer. And she had trained under, and I can't remember the name, but a very good, and at that time, this is going back to the early 80s, probably late 70s, something like that, a very good astrologer. And she taught me the structure and the skeleton. She was Capricorn, so Saturn. So she taught me the basics, and she was very disciplined and strict about how she taught me astrology, and I learnt a lot from
Mm.
her. And from that, I think I signed up to do the faculty course,
Right.
but I have to admit I didn't ever complete it. I felt I needed some more input. I needed somebody to help me make sense of it.
Right.
In these days, remember, we're doing charts by hand.
Yes. Yeah. I was going to say.
And I could do it, but my mathematics is appalling. And so I did find it really difficult to actually construct a chart. But I could do, what was interesting, I could do it intuitively.
Yeah.
I could somehow see the wheel in my mind, and I would think, oh, okay, well that's there. Well, that actually then that means that's down there and that's over there. So it wouldn't be a very accurate chart, but it would be a chart.
Yes.
And maybe it has just as much relevance in one sense as when it's completely accurate.
Yeah.
So that's really how my path into astrology started.
That's fascinating. Yeah. Because one of the things was we've always had these connections since we met. For those who don't know, when I met at Shifts, it was Penny's birthday. Penny actually returned to the UK on my birthday. Penny's moving to the UK and buying somewhere. I'm selling somewhere and hoping to move somewhere else. So, but the funniest thing was when you mentioned the lady in the woods. Guess what my middle name is?
Lucy,
Yes.
you are kidding me. Oh
Seriously.
my
This
God.
keeps on happening. It just keeps on happening.
And you
It's
read
it
tarot.
yeah. It's
Wow.
it's it's hilarious. It is hilarious.
Can I ask you how the tarot found you?
How to terrify me
Yes.
or
Yeah, how did the
um
tarot find you?
basically I would say I've always had an interest. I think I've grown up never really knowing where to go, what to do. Um, as a certain Penny Thornton said, she managed to pull out a situation in my life when I was 18 where I was going to go and do, I think, uh, fashion design. I got sidetracked because I was a Guns N' Roses fan, and my tutor turned around and said he could see me doing well in heavy metal. And that's why I ended up doing a degree course in metalwork that didn't go to plan. So I've always had it where things are kind of like falling apart. I've been for kind of like fortune telling at the seaside and things like that. I've always been a little bit on the esoteric side, shall we say, but it's since probably 2017 that um my interest in astrology and card readings, crystals, that started to grow there, and where I started to know that I could do a few things.
Hmm.
Um, it's interesting because now only just having my chart done in the past couple of years, that obviously it's my really tight ascendant in Neptune in Sagittarius, that kind of people have said
Wow.
you
Yeah.
can do things.
Mm.
I'm not out there in terms of I know this is going to happen. I
Mm.
have the ability to say things, and then someone will say, well, actually that just happened to me. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, so 2017 was really the start of me getting more into esoteric practices.
Right.
I started working with cards for myself. Um, I also have I have a good connection with pendulum work.
Right. Lovely.
So
Yes.
I have various pendulums, and
I use the wands, the
yeah, I've
rods.
got
I love
dowsing rods as
those.
well.
Yeah.
We might get together and have fun with those one
Mhm.
day. But yeah, so since probably 2017 is when I've started to work with myself more than anything else.
Yeah.
As I said, it was the first Amadam really opened up what I had to offer to other people.
Mm.
And where I think over the past couple of years, I've been able to pick up things from other people, especially in terms of workplaces, where you stick me in a workplace and I will automatically go, nope, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, that person.
Mm.
I will just bring out the worst in people.
Mm.
So, yeah, as I said, it was probably the first August 23 then was really where I kind of like started getting more into the astrology on
Yeah.
YouTube and
Yeah.
pick it up. But really in the last year, I I did Steve Judd's course. Um, so that's given me more of a basis.
Yes.
But I also run I run a couple of WhatsApp groups for astrology where we get together and we will look at charts. Um, but also
Great.
I'm involved with another couple from the shifts
Mm.
group as well. So um, my understanding of astrology is growing. I understand myself a lot better. Um, and for me, the thing with astrology is that it doesn't tell you what or who you have to be.
No.
An astrology chart is more about you understanding who you are, but also how you can use the energies to move your life forward.
Exactly. Spot on. Mm.
So, it, one of the things I was going to ask as well, and this probably jumping ahead, but where we were talking about charts and working with the energies, I know a few people who are kind of like, I've got a really difficult chart,
Mhm.
really difficult. My life is like this because and it's like, how do you get those people to look at the chart differently? That,
People that have difficult charts.
yeah,
Well, that's an interesting one. I'm not sure that you can because they have to find out for themselves.
mm,
Because, I mean, I don't know why, but it's making me think of my ex-husband's chart. And I wasn't really that involved in working with astrology at the time when I met him and married him. Um, and it was only actually a few months ago when I was clearing out to move back to England, that I found his chart. And I thought, dear God, what on earth was I thinking of? Because I obviously clearly hadn't really paid attention to his chart. I'd never have married him because he has got a very complex, difficult Pisces-based chart.
mm,
Pisces ascendant, Pisces sun, Pisces moon, and some more planets all
mm.
packed up in the 12th house.
Oh,
And I just thought, dear God, I must have been bonkers. Well, I was. But it was really interesting because seeing that chart, I mean, this doesn't really answer your question, but seeing that chart, it tells me now with hindsight why there was no hope in hell. And I was caught clearly in my rescuer phase. Um,
Yeah,
I was much younger then, and I was thinking, oh no, I can help him. I can help transform him. No, I can't. That was my little Chiron sitting on my descendant. Oh, I'll be his therapist. I'll help him to feel better. No, I can't. I can't do that. And so it was, but if I'm working with someone who has a particularly tricky chart, all I can do is work with them with it. So, but they've got to choose as to whether they want to have some ongoing sessions with me
yeah,
to actually work through the various sort of areas of their chart. Because, I mean, I'm sure you've heard this before, but actually, a lot of squares in a chart are usually actually much more exciting and interesting than a lot of trines,
yeah,
because with the trines, we're just going to sit back and do nothing. Whereas if we've got the squares, it's pushing us
yeah,
to take action.
yeah.
So I think the thing is with astrology, if astrology does find you
Mm,
and you choose to use it to try and understand yourself better,
yeah,
then you have to find yourself a good astrologer to help you with that.
yeah,
Because the problem, I think this problem is changing, but over the last probably 10, 15 years, I think people are beginning to recognize that astrology is not fortune telling.
yeah,
I think that is filtering through with people who are taking astrology more seriously and working with it. Because, as I said, I think in the live on Sunday, it's no good being an armchair astrologer. It's no good just observing the transits and thinking, oh, this is lovely. This will be nice. I'll just sit back and wait for it all to happen because it won't.
yeah.
And we had this conversation when we spoke yesterday. We have to actually take action. So a chart shows you the areas of your life where you can take action or choose not to take action.
Mhm. And I think what's really funny is that yesterday we were talking and you went, "Oh, Mercury's in a good place for communication."
I
So,
know,
yeah,
yes. And
um,
today,
yeah.
just to interject, is the 6th of August, and Venus moves into Libra today. And so we've got that lovely energy of friends
Yeah,
having lovely dialogue and finding balance, harmony, and congruence together.
yeah,
So that was why I think when I said to you, let's do it on the 6th, I
yeah.
was thinking about Venus moving into Libra.
Um, one of the things that I was going to say then is obviously we were discussing you're a young psychotherapist. Um, do you want to explain how that works alongside the astrology for you?
Yeah, well, the first astrologer I went to for a session was recommended to me by my own personal psychotherapist because I was in therapy at the time because I was in such a mess. And he just gave me this card with the name and the number Liz Green. And he said, I think you might find it rather interesting to go and talk to this lady. I think I was about 29, 30, just coming out of my first
Oh, Saturn.
Saturn return. And so, because I thought my therapist was God. So I decided that he was Irish, actually. And he lived in the woods, funnily enough. There's a lot of going into the woods here. Interesting. Um, so I decided because he had said this is a good idea, it must be a good idea. So I rang Liz up, made the appointment, went to see her somewhere in London, I can't remember where. And I went into her consulting room, which was full of smoke. There was just smoke everywhere.
Aging.
She
Oh, chain smoke.
chain smokes. There were cups of coffee, some drunk, some not drunk. There were just, you know. And she sat there and looked at my chart. And the thing I most remember is her looking at my fourth house, which is Libra Scorpio. So my
Right.
IC is in Libra. I use Placidus, and
Right.
then halfway through my fourth house, it becomes Scorpio. And my Saturn is in Scorpio. And she just went, your father was absent. And I went, huh? Basically, everything she said to me went over my head. But I knew I was in the presence of someone who knew what they were talking about. I just didn't fully understand it.
Yeah.
And, but that hook of going to see her, and obviously it was resonating because I just started my training in psychotherapy at the time. I was in my first year. So the symbolism and the metaphor that she was using as she went through my chart really resonated. And, I realized that the reason she was saying my father was absent was that actually, in a sense, he was. Not that he wasn't there, but, he lived with us,
Yeah.
but he was either at work or drinking. So, of course, he was always absent.
Yeah.
And it was just very interesting. And I think she also said, and your mother was very depressed, which was very true. My mother did suffer from depression. So those were the two. And I can remember thinking, oh God, this is depressing. And I cannot remember much else from the session, but she hooked me. And from then on in, I was working with the psychotherapy. So I was doing my course, which was it was eclectic, which means that you learn Jung, Klein, and Freud, and lots of others like Carl Rogers and oh gosh, I can't think, Grodek, all various people you learn about. And I started really studying, just self-teaching myself astrology alongside. And I'd had this earlier astrology friend. Her name was Annette, and don't tell me that's another of your middle
No,
names
it's not. I was going
or
to
your
say
mother's middle
no.
name. And so she was still around, so she was going through charts with me and teaching me. And because the thing is with astrology is you're probably discovering is you just have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
You have to, and I always, when I listen to Steve Judd, because he often goes on about how he used to take the ephemeris to bed.
Yeah.
Well, I used to do the same. And I think I can't say that because he'll think I'm copying him. But I did. I used to go to bed with the ephemeris and I'd be looking and thinking, oh, October 2027. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Oh, Uranus will be coming up close to my Mercury. Oh wow. So I'd be doing that. So, but leaping ahead a bit because, I did my training as a psychotherapist and I'm doing the astrology alongside, and I would often look at people's charts. So I was really a self-taught
Yeah.
astrologer. And I'm trying to think, and then I think, well, then of course, Facebook happened and computer software.
Yeah.
And that, I think, changed the lives of many people who weren't very good at arithmetic and angles and geometry.
Yeah.
I can see the patterns, but I can't work out the numbers. That's,
Yeah.
I can see the almost four-dimensional, almost multi-dimensional sense of a chart, but I just can't work out the angles and the numbers.
Yeah.
And so software, computer software and astrology programs, oh my God, I was in seventh heaven. I was doing every single chart under the sun. And I think it's when you immerse yourself like that that you learn. Because obviously you look at your own chart, you
Hmm.
look at your family's chart, you look at whoever your particular significant other's chart is, and try and convince yourself that just because everything in the chart points to this being an absolute no-no relationship, you decide I can justify it, I can work it. This is obviously a soul lesson. And
Yeah.
then, oh, guess what? It doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say is, obviously I've got the chart of the eclipse up. Should we have a quick look?
Shall
And if
we?
you want
That
to
sounds like a lovely
point
idea.
out I'll
Yeah,
kind of point with the mouse, and then obviously we can explain
yeah.
to people what we're looking at.
Let's do that. Let's do that.
Ah, come on, there's that one. There we go. So just to explain to people, um,
There it is.
it's a
There it is.
program called Solar Fire. Um, so basically, um, it's been around for a
I think
couple of
Solar Fire
decades.
was the first
Yeah.
solar astrology program, actually.
So,
Um,
but basically, it creates whatever chart you want. So you can program in the date, the times, the location, and then it will automatically generate the chart for you.
yeah,
So the chart we've got is for the 12th of August. It's for this it's total solar eclipse, isn't it?
yeah. It's a new moon
Um,
total solar eclipse.
so this is for around 5:30 in the afternoon.
That's right.
It's based in Manchester, but it'll be
Mm,
for the UK.
yeah,
It's Placidus,
mm,
so it's not equal house. But
yeah.
that's another thing that we can do a video on. Uh,
Mm. House
but
systems.
sorry,
House systems.
house systems, yeah.
Mm.
So take it away.
Yeah, well, I think, the interesting thing, actually, if you take the ascendant of this chart, which I think is interesting, I know it is for Manchester, but of course, Manchester is just about to get a new mayor,
Yes,
which
yeah,
actually is just kind of interesting. And we're in the energy of all that kind of taking place. But I'm looking at the Capricorn ascendant because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So the chart ruler is Saturn. And even though that doesn't necessarily isn't necessarily where we need to go because this is for a point in time in Manchester and not anywhere else. But it's almost like saying that the changes that can take place in Manchester are about timing and that it's going to be a good 6 months before that new mayor is bedded in, so to
yeah,
speak, and sort of working well. But bringing it to just further away, seeing the bigger picture. The new moon itself is at 20 degrees of Leo, and it is widely conjunct Jupiter. So I don't think we can leave Jupiter out of it.
mm,
And of course, Mercury is also widely conjunct Jupiter as well from the other angle. And I think if we just look at the actual structure, and then you've got Mercury coming down here and sextiling Uranus in Gemini. And Uranus goes retrograde soon. I can't quite remember when, but it is quite soon. I'm just going to have a quick look. It goes retrograde in September. It goes retrograde around about the 10th, 11th of September. So only in about a month's time, Uranus will go retrograde. So we've still got this famous basket configuration
mm,
that has been talked about by a lot of astrologers, where you've got Pluto, interestingly, is squaring Chiron retrograde in Taurus now.
right,
So there's so much in this chart, and it's like, how do we break it down? Because also, look at Venus up there at 5 degrees of Libra, trining Uranus in Gemini. And then you've got um, Mercury and Jupiter really still in Leo, and they are trining Neptune in Aries. So then we sort of think, well, let's see, how do we unpack all of this? Because I just think it's the continuation of a story that has been unfolding for some time. And I think that it's saying and suggesting, because eclipses usually the effects of them can last for anything up to 6 months. We're just seeing a signature on the 12th. We're saying, right, this is how the energies are going to ripple out over the next 6 months. And I think the changes that it is heralding are actually good, are positive. But I do think it's also about Jupiter saying, what actually in this instance do we have to let go of? Because is it, Jupiter is widely trining Neptune. So is this, and I'm thinking about world leaders at the moment with the
Mm.
sun there and Leo and the moon and everything. Is this world leaders, certain world leaders having to let go of a dream because it's trining retrograde Neptune? A dream for world dominance with
Mm.
Neptune in Aries and all of that and Saturn retrograde now. So, it's just interesting to kind of drop those things in and think, what's this about? But, that Pluto squaring Chiron is talking about the importance of, I think, how we value ourselves and how we can um, use some of this new moon solar eclipse energy to come out of the shadows, to not hide our lights under bushels, so to speak, to actually um, get out there
Yeah,
and be brave, to take risks. Because with all this energy in Leo, which is really super powerful, it's a lovely stellium there of Mercury, Jupiter, the Sun, the Moon, and the node is just, moving into Leo,
yeah,
almost, not quite. And I think for the Pisces lunar eclipse, it has moved into
yeah.
Aquarius, hasn't it? Um, but I think there's something about, to me, this is a chart of hope. And I'm just looking at Mars because Mars, of course, has just moved into
Mm.
Cancer
Yeah.
and is actually sextiling that node still in Virgo. There's something here about we're being given an opportunity through this new moon eclipse to discard behaviors and ways of being that really don't serve us well, that don't help us as we go forward,
Mm.
ways of looking at things. And how can we use that in a constructive way going forward?
Mm.
Because I think the retrograde planets are giving us the opportunity to go back and repair. I don't
Yeah.
know what any of your thoughts might be
Well,
about it.
my feelings are, I mean, as we discussed before we started this, one of the things that I'm picking up at the moment is um I know so many people who are kind of like hitting roadblocks. My
Yes,
it's like a roadblock and it's like it's there, the road's either completely out of action or basically we're all being given, right, okay, that's it. You've been here before. I think with Mercury going retrograde previously, it
yeah,
was as you discussed, rethinking old ideas and
yeah,
giving us the opportunity to change. But I really feel at the moment, especially this week and the past couple of weeks, there's this roadblock that a
yes,
lot of people are up against, and it's a case of, look, you've done this before or you've tried
mm,
this before. You are going to have to try a different way. That's either you
yeah,
go back and you start again, or you choose the different path. And I feel that what's coming in with the solar eclipse is that from the darkness, we are going to get a new light energy that's going to come through and it's going to
lovely.
reinvigorate us
Yeah,
and
I think that,
hopefully give
mm,
us that push to move forward in a more positive way. Because I think, as we've always been discussing, old ways are having to stop.
mm,
Uranus moving into Gemini again with communications, and it's indicating these are new ways of starting and going forward. But we have choices. And this is kind of like bigger picture, but also in life. So
yeah,
there are things that, and I'm going to be honest, and I think a lot of people are having very difficult decisions.
yes.
But like you said, if you'd seen the chart of your husband, your then husband, would you have gone down that path?
I well, I probably still would. That's the funny thing because we
Yeah.
do, don't we? And of course, actually, what I gained from it was an immense amount of learning. And I grew up incredibly. And the maturity and understanding of life and relationships that I gained through
Yeah.
that. And this is where I think, it's not always about going along thinking, oh, how lovely, this is a lovely trine. I can just, jog along and everything will be fine. Because, you were talking about the blocks and the problems that a lot of us seem to be facing
Yeah.
these last couple of weeks. And you see, I think what shifts next week is a lot of those blocks. I think the light reveals as the eclipse passes, the light is revealed of what has been holding us back and how we move forward. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm aware that we've got that Pluto, Uranus, Venus, grand air trine. So there is something here about, I think, seeing that bigger picture and the harmony and the balance. You've got Uranus, such dramatic, unexpected twists and turns. Pluto, change, transformation. The opportunities are all there, and they are held, in a sense, by Venus at the top of that
Mm.
grand air trine. In Libra, another of the signs that she rules, saying the way forward is through the balance and harmony, and people uh, communicating, because this chart shows Mercury just gone past its opposition with Pluto,
Yeah.
because that is going to spark some fireworks. I mean, we're recording this when on the 6th.
Next
That's
year.
going to spark off some fireworks in communications over the next few days leading up to the eclipse, because that's a dramatic energy. And at the
Yeah.
same time, Mercury is sextiling Uranus, and Uranus is trining Pluto. So you've got this energy of unexpected news, shocking news, surprising news, transformational news. I mean, in my own situation, I'm thinking, oh, this could be good. Maybe this will get rid of some of the blocks that have been standing in my way moving forward. So, and you might find for yourself that I would say for everybody, after this eclipse next week, come, let's say Wednesday, because what is it, 11th, 12th is the Wednesday. So
Yeah.
by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I just think we're going to see some significant shifts and change in our own personal circumstances where there have been those roadblocks. I don't know what you sense or what the cards might say.
Well, we can have a look.
We
Right. I'm
could,
just
couldn't we?
gonna close that down for a second. All right. So yeah, I've got my
Oh,
my
lovely.
little tarot cards. So I'm gonna give them a quick shuffle and
Mhm.
see what comes out.
Okay.
I'm just gonna pull them. I mean, as I said, usually I use my pendulum, but that takes a long time. Especially if my pendulum decides to be awkward. So yeah, if you check out any of my videos, there will be a time where I will actually talk to my pendulum to actually try and get it to behave.
I love it. Lovely relationship.
Right, let's just pull these apart and see what we
Are
get.
you asking anything in particular, or are you just
I'm
saying
just
what
going with the what the energy of um
eclipse or
eclipse is going to bring in.
okay.
And ironically, let's see if we can get that one. Oh,
Star. Okay.
it's the
Fabulous.
naked lady.
Oh yes, you
Um,
can't show that.
no, it's like
Bonkers, isn't it?
so. Obviously, it's kind of like cosmic energy. All your dreams are coming true. It's opportunities, it's renewal, faith, hope, healing, rejuvenation, unexpected help. And again, it's related to the air elements as well, which obviously ties into the astrology, which
Yeah,
will be for
yeah.
another video.
Mm.
So that's that one. Well, actually, let's see. Well, that's interesting. So that's an Aquarius. So that's Aquarius feeling. The next one that we got, there we go.
Oh,
There we go.
the Knight of Wands. I mean, no, sorry, the Six of Wands.
Yeah, so Six of
Good
Wands.
news.
So you've earned every one of your successes, progress, confidence, conquest, public recognition, triumph. Again, what's interesting is that relates to the element of fire, and also it's Leo. So that's obviously where we've got all the Leo energy coming in next week.
So
Sorry, I
it
haven't.
could be suggesting that round the energy of that new moon solar eclipse, that the collective or people in general will start to receive
Yeah.
the information they need to move
Well,
forward with their
you wait
project.
for it because one of the cards fell off, so I am going with this. So
Yeah.
this is again another card of
Ah, Five of Wands.
yeah. So learn to take life as it comes, both positive and negative, which ties in quite well with the astrology because you do have to learn both. So it's a bit of a conflict. It can be a conflict card, it can be tension, rivalry. Realistically, what I get is that that one's probably where we are at the moment.
Yeah,
This
I
is
would
what
say
we're
so.
still dealing with.
Yes. Yeah.
And again, it's a fire Leo card. So
Yeah.
obviously, with all these planets now going into Leo,
Yeah.
I think it's obviously um, I've had this discussion with Steve where obviously anaretic degrees in an astrology chart, usually it's 29-0. He feels are the strongest aspects in a chart. But where we've got what I've said to him before is he's kind of like always asked why does it seem to be that the later or right on the cusp is gives someone a stronger element. And I had said it to him. I think what it is that when a planet goes into a new area, one, it's still carrying the energy from the house before.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
it gradually moves through. And as it goes through, it picks up more of that element of that house.
Mm.
So the strength that is picked up, it kind of like weakens and gets manipulated. And then when it gets to the end, that's where it picks up again.
That's nice. I like that interpretation.
Yeah. And then this is the card that came out afterwards, okay, which was interesting because you were saying about us learning to share and develop.
Hmm.
So, of course, we got this one,
Ha!
sharing the wealth.
Six of Wealth, Six of Coins.
So,
How
sharing your
lovely.
success builds more success.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, that's an Earth Taurus. So,
Yes.
um, it's got that balance. Right, it can be that stubbornness, but again, when the ball gets going, as people say, you can't get out of the way. So
Absolutely.
maybe in case it's kind of like giving us that movement
Yeah.
forward, but
Yeah.
also bringing us back to the sense of community that is
Yeah.
actually kind of missing at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, um, what I was going to say, because we're getting close to
Close
the
to our
magical
time.
mark, um, what I was going to say, I mean, there was a couple of other things, but I think we'll see how this goes. But I think
Okay.
there might be another video coming up. Let's put
I'm
it.
sure there will.
Um, which planet do you resonate most with, and is there a reason for it?
Saturn, always been Saturn. And I think it's because even though Saturn doesn't particularly dominate my chart, that Saturn in Scorpio that I've got in the fourth house, um, I think because when I was learning astrology from my friend Annette, she was the first sort of real proper teacher I had. She used to really bang into me, ignore Saturn to your cost. Saturn is a hard taskmaster. And if we learn the lessons that Saturn presents us with, then really everything else will fall into place. So you could say, for me at the moment, my own situation where I've got delays, which are just annoying, but they're there. And whether they're for a good delay or not, I don't know. Does it matter? But for some reason, they're there. But I have to trust that the
Mm,
delays are for a reason and that that is okay and that we can't always see the bigger picture because obviously I've had to make different decisions based on the delays that I'm facing. And those decisions and the circumstances that I might find myself in wouldn't have happened or couldn't happen if I was moving into my house this week.
yeah,
So I think Saturn has always taught me about the importance of timing and trusting the timing. So, yeah, Saturn.
it's a very interesting choice. But I'm with you. I actually, it's like I know a lot of people don't like Pluto. I actually love Pluto, but that's only because it sits on my MC.
You should be leading the world in your particular field. I
Well,
mean, Putin has got Pluto on the MC.
who was?
Putin.
Oh, right. Okay. I'm not going down that path. I think the thing with me is I'm kind of a reluctant leader. I think it's like at shifts, I became this kind of like figurehead for
Yeah,
everyone to look out for. And I'm
you
just kind of going,
do.
well,
Yeah,
why did
yeah,
this happen? But I think this is why I started the YouTube, was that I feel like now I'm at a point where I am being given a voice. I
yeah.
mean, realistically, this is quite interesting because I have point back, all of my card readings that you will see my hands, you don't see my face. So this for me is a big step out.
Right.
So maybe this is the solar eclipse going, you're going to have to start showing your face.
Well,
So,
it's Leo, isn't it?
well, I've got my stellium in Leo. I've got
Ah,
Mercury is 17 of Leo. So the solar eclipse is
is
kind of
virtually on your
just,
Mercury.
yeah.
So actually, this is a very timely video for
And
you.
I've got Jupiter is conjunct my natal Mars
Oh, wow. Oh,
as well.
my gosh.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then the nodes are moving back, and obviously my moon is 27 degrees of
yeah,
Leo. So,
right.
you know, but it,
Yeah,
as you said, it was one of those things, it just felt that it was like this is a good time to do things.
yeah.
Um, so I think realistically we are at the point that we,
Of no return.
well, I was going to say stop, but
This has been lovely. I've
I
thoroughly
know it's
enjoyed
been so
having
good.
a
I
chat
mean,
with you.
I mean, this is one of the things that maybe, hopefully, we'll see what goes on. I know a couple of, as I said, the Amadan group and Shift group, they all follow you anyway, and a couple of them are going, you've got to do another follow-up video. So fingers crossed, this is what
Great.
they wanted to see.
Oh, that's nice.
But I'd be more than happy if you were willing, to try and
Oh, yeah. I
do
love
a
doing this.
couple of videos maybe where we go through small details and
Yeah,
not overloading what
yeah,
different houses do and that, so that people
yeah,
get a really good idea.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Again, if people want to have a reading with you, they obviously go to astrology, but
www.pennydix.com, but you
there you go.
email me on penny@pennydix.com.
There you go.
And what can I say? I'm going to take clients from September because I'm
Okay.
hoping by then I might actually be in my house.
Yeah, that'll be
So
good.
that I'll manage something.
As much as you've loved being, I think we've all
I
loved
love
living
living in the
in the
woods.
tree house. Yeah.
Oh, it's
Well,
brilliant.
it's like that return, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
like that. This is where your interest in tarot and astrology started, in the
in
woods.
the
Look,
woods.
look
I
where
know,
you've
it's
got now.
interesting, isn't it? I know, I know. And you mentioned 2017, and I can't remember what, because in 2017 was when I moved to my apartment that I had in Gozo, but I'd actually wanted to move back to England then, but
Hmm.
broke my ankle and couldn't move.
Yeah.
And then 2020 was actually when I started my channel at the beginning of COVID.
Right.
Yeah, just sort of, launched into it. And here we are.
Yeah, we are. There we go.
I'm sorry, I'm in danger of wittering.
No, you're not.
Nick.
We've done incredibly well. I think Mercury has balanced it out perfectly today.
I
So,
want to say thank you so much for inviting me. I think this has just been great fun.
well, again, it's been really enjoyable, and again, I do feel that shifts was meant to be between us.
Oh, you were amazing. I really needed an angel and you appeared. And,
Well,
because
again,
I
I
was,
think that's something that I do for people. I seem to
yeah,
appear in their lives at a certain
yeah,
time,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
you know. So
yeah.
hopefully, I'm coming to people to you know give them a bit of
Lighten
hope
their
and
lives.
guidance. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
bless you.
and who knows, Dix'n'Minx might become a
Dix'n'Minx.
regular feature. Okay,
I love it.
there we go. Well,
All
thank
right,
you again.
oh, you are so welcome. You're
I'll
so
catch you
welcome.
on your Sunday live.
Oh yes, yes. Thank you for joining in that. I really appreciate. And
Yeah.
you know, if anyone's watching and they haven't seen the Sunday Live, we're quite a friendly bunch,
Yes, we are.
and it's a sort of growing community, and it's good fun.
There
It's
you
good
go.
fun. So what I'm going to do is stop this my end,
Yes.
and I think I press that, and I go goodbye, everyone, and thanks for joining us. Remember to like, comment,
Okay.
and subscribe
Right.
to
Yeah.
Nick Minx and Penny Dix, Astrology by Penny Dix.
There we go.
And see you
See
soon,
you
Nick.
later. Thanks
Okay.
again.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.